What was the most overrated part about being at YC?
The funding. Stop programming, stop coding, stop building anything, get a contract first. When you do it your first time, you have to learn about
My guest today used to work at Google before leaving to launch his own robotics startup. He was named in the Forbes 30 under 30 list, has raised millions of dollars after getting accepted into Y Combinator, and is here to talk about his insane journey and all the insights he's learned.
I feel like most people can probably understand is in 20 years, I would say, a lot of work is going to be automated in manufacturing.
Oh my God.
Right now, it's what better job to automate than the job nobody wants?
Do you ever think dang, maybe I should have just stayed at Google where I had work-life balance and actually got 8 hours of sleep a night?
I'd be lying if I said there weren't moments. It feels like it's so worth it. When you're kind of testing a business idea or you want to see if something would work, just try to fail as fast as you can.
Is now the best time to start your own company?
I feel like the best thing you could be doing in your life is...
As you know, I'm currently at Microsoft, so I spend my days working at one of the biggest companies in the world.
Right.
You spend your days trying to build the next one from scratch. A lot of people watching this are probably in a similar position as me. They're working stable jobs, they have reliable paychecks, a 401k. What would it take for them to be crazy enough to leave their stable 9-to-5 behind and start their own startup from scratch like you have?
You only have so many days being a person alive on Earth, so it's might as well just it's YOLO, just do your best, just try something out, try something new, see what happens. And when you're kind of testing a business idea or you want to see if something would work, just try to fail as fast as you can. Try and prove to yourself why this wouldn't work, and do it in a very honest way. To people that are, I guess your question was about if someone's trying to make the jump.
Yeah.
I would say sooner is definitely better than later. Especially when you're in SF, it's very infectious. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing. These days, at least in SF, it's been rarer for me to find someone working at big tech or at a larger company than someone that's working at a smaller company or even doing starting a new startup. So usually when you're around people that are taking the risk, it's easier to take the leap as well. But really what you want to do is get it out there as fast as possible, see what happens, and test it in a way where you don't even have to quit your job. And then once you prove some of the basics out, you'll actually feel a lot more confident quitting your job. Or you'll just, be okay, that was a bad idea. Time to move on. Yeah.
Which category did you fall into? Did you test your idea before taking the leap? Was this multiple ideas you've iterated over and this is the latest one? I guess, what was your whole journey like?
Yeah, there's definitely some iteration, but and this isn't the first thing I've tried to do, but the main thing with this one is it's a little deep actually. So the stuff that we do, by the way, we're Pivot Robotics. We build AI software for industrial arms, off-the-shelf industrial arms, so that they can be empowered to do really complex manufacturing tasks. And the reason we even kind of explored this space in the first place is my dad's a foundry guy. He's a metallurgist, so that means he studied materials engineering in college and then went on to get his PhD in metallurgy. And
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And so it's just he's a really big metals expert in the world, I'd say. Basically his job is going to these foundries that make metal parts and making sure that they're actually producing parts of high quality, or they're meeting the standards of the company that he works for.
Okay.
And actually, this part right here is one of the parts from the company he works for.
Oh,
which is kind of
really?
cool because we're now processing parts that go to him, and it's kind of a little full circle moment. But
yeah.
The point that I'm trying to get at is my dad showed me this industry, and then me and my co-founder Sid, his name's also Sid. We both found this to be a very untouched, ripe for manufacturing or ripe for automation market. And because when we go to these foundries, we notice that there's not a lot of automation set up and a lot of manual processes exist. And we found out that the main manual process was grinding, which is where you take a metal part. Usually it comes out of the foundry kind of looking like this. You have some bumps on it that need to be manually removed before you ship it to your customer.
Okay.
Or before they ship it to their customer. And that process is very dirty. You have to take a grinding tool, hit the metal part, or you have to put it against this grinding stone, sparks fly everywhere, and then the dust can get in your face and stuff. It's just not an enjoyable process. And the thing is, like, these days, if you are someone doing a job like that, usually if you have the option to like do Uber Eats or do like another job, you'd usually take it.
Really?
Yeah. So back in the day, manufacturing jobs were like kind of like the cornerstone of America, really. Like people would just work their 9 to 5 or I guess 7 to 3 manufacturing job depending on your shift, and then you'd do that, you know, feed the family, you know, have a proper family unit or whatever that they had back in the day. But now it's like, you know, the option to not do that job and still be a successful or like a surviving family is there.
Okay.
So you'd much rather do that job than metal grinding. One common predicament that for people in robotics is like, I want to automate this job, but people actually like doing this job, and then you kind of feel bad that you're automating jobs. Like
yeah.
that's like a big thing. Like in the future, most jobs will be automated. That's just kind of how the things are trending. But right now, it's like, what better job to automate than the job nobody wants? You know.
I see what you're saying. That's a great point.
So it's like,
that's a great point.
if you're facing this mental battle of like, I don't want to automate a job somebody enjoys, or, you know, I don't want to automate a job that's like super critical for like a lot of people. Well, automate the job that everyone's leaving, and automate the job that people literally can't find workers for.
Yeah.
So there's like big need there, and we saw that as like a common, like a centerpiece in all foundries and all manufacturing sites. It's like, oh, there's always like some sort of finishing step.
Yeah.
And it's always very manual.
Yeah.
And there's one sensor that can kind of solve this problem for us. And it's the reason human beings are really good at this job. And it's kind of, it's vision. It's like eyes. It's like being able to like see what's going on. So we have like 3D cameras that we put in our robots. I studied robotics. I met my co-founder at CMU. We both like hit it off immediately just because like we really liked robots, and we both wanted to start a business at some point, you know, and then jumping through a bunch of ideas and trying out different projects. Eventually, we both ended up in San Francisco, and also we both worked at like different robotics companies or companies that used robot methods or strategies to achieve their things. Like I worked at Google X on like the Everyday Robot project.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was really cool. It was an amazing team. Everybody's super smart, and I felt like I was learning so much all the time. What happened with Google at Everyday Robots? They shut it down like January 2023, February 2023-ish.
Oh, how come?
And this was, I think it was an executive decision. Main thing is like, I think when we were developing the robot and making it do things, like EDR, Everyday Robots, made like a really good platform to do like robot tasks, like a general purpose platform. That was like the goal. Nowadays, like, you know, you have like VLAs and you have like really cool like robot algorithms that are doing really beautiful things, like cleaning up messes, doing laundry, putting away dishes and stuff. It's really awesome to see. But back then, I think the robot transformer concept, or like the VLA hadn't really like, I guess, come to, I don't even think it existed properly back then. But basically it was about to happen. But I think as far as like results from the org, maybe the executives weren't really satisfied, because like it was taking us a long time to like wipe tables, and the progress might have seemed a little slow. But point being, the lesson that I took from that was like, it's really important that when you're trying to make a business, you're solving a really concrete problem that when you deliver, people will see a lot of benefit. So like, you know, the Y Combinator statement, make something people want. So yeah, you gotta actually nail that down. So then my dad's been kind of preaching to me this whole time, ever since I took an affinity to robotics. He was like, dude, foundries are such a messy and dirty place, and they need a lot of help with like labor. That's just a given. You should go and look into these places that I'm super connected with and see if there's an opportunity. And finally, when Sid and I were like thinking, okay, it's time to, let's lock in and make this business, tapped my dad, and my dad was like, okay, let's set you up with some places. Because at the end of the day, we were like, okay, we need to find a true problem, and my dad's been saying that there's a lot of problems here. Like, I mean, ever since I was growing up, he'd always be talking about this, so it's like something that's kind of lingered in the back of my head. I didn't really want to make the jump to foundries because I've known that they're like dirty places, and for some reason there was like a mental block there where I was like, I don't really want to work in an environment like this. But then I think at one point when we're realizing we want to make a defensible business, that thing that was blocking me from working in a dirty and dull environment, I think dull is actually not the right word. It's pretty crazy, but that thing that was blocking me is actually kind of a moat for us because like everybody else is feeling a similar thing. It's kind of an analogy. Back in medieval times, when you build a castle, you'd have like a moat around you, which is like a little thing full of water, and that keeps people out from your castle. So what this also means in startup world is like, it's your defensibility. It's like what makes you a startup that's not going to be copied or overtaken by somebody else.
You felt like current manufacturing companies had a moat around them that prevented you from joining it?
It was more like, I was thinking like, me not wanting to work in the foundry space initially, that is a moat. Because it's like, I'm thinking like, okay, if I take this leap and I do this and try and automate this, suppose I was like automating something else like pick and place for like a logistics company. There's so many robotics companies doing that just because it's like a very structured environment. It's relatively clean. It's like a very constrained task. So it's like, okay, I just got to pick up a box and put it here. And usually can grab a lot of things with like suction. But the main thing is like that feeling that I got of like, I don't want to work in this industry because it scares me initially. I felt like everybody else was feeling that too. And that's the reason why no one's going and helping these people.
I see.
And I'm like, okay, so obviously you can build a very defensible business, make really cool technology and scale within an industry. But at the end of the day, it's like my business is defensible because people literally just don't want to do it.
No, that makes total sense. It's like the dirty work that, because there's so much like, I guess, uncertainty and fear in entering the space. It almost does kind of give you guys a lot of, I guess, a moat there in itself and some barrier there.
I mean, like I spent, so our first customer, they're called Osco. They're out in Ohio. They're really tight with my dad, and then my dad was able to kind of hook us up with like a meeting and then learn about their problems. But the main thing is I spent like about 2 months out there in Ohio last year. So it's like, you know, boots on the ground in the foundry, met all the guys that work grinding and all the other jobs. And I think honestly got really close with them. Like our main customer, or our main point of contact at our customer site, like I went to church with him on one of the weekends just because he got really close with me. And he was just like, oh, Vignesh, like, you know, you've been out here for so long. I feel like it's only right before you leave that I give you a proper Bible Belt sermon. I was like, oh, sure, man, let's go.
Why not?
I went, and then it was really interesting. Like I really felt like I was getting immersed in it all. But what's also funny is like my mentor from Everyday Robots, he had told me that like when we first like got into Y Combinator and started kind of putting together the business, right? I talked to a bunch of people that I used to work with just to get some like feedback and some advice. And then my old manager at Everyday Robots, he was like, yeah, Vignesh, if you go down this manufacturing road, you're gonna be, this is before we even met Osco. He was like, you're gonna be in Ohio.
Oh, no way.
It's gonna be midnight. It's gonna be 2 days before the customer site, or the customer's like doing its runoff test with your system. And you're gonna be wondering why the robot's not doing this one thing.
Oh my God.
And then I'm like, whoa. That's very specific, and it seems like he's experienced this before, and it sounds terrifying. But I will say, he got it right to a T. There were moments where we were in Ohio, on the ground, trying to figure out how to solve this one problem. But I think the difference was I actually had a great time. Like I was enjoying myself like crazy. I was like, this is so fun. And then, you know, eventually we solve it, we get it right, and the customer's happy with the robot. But I mean, like, that was like a crazy Oracle moment from my guy John. He was just like, that was so surreal.
That's so funny.
But here we are.
You and I met at Carnegie Mellon University. We started the same year. We both studied computer engineering. I'm curious, what impact did Carnegie Mellon have on your entrepreneurship interests and in your passion to enter the robotics space?
Yeah, I mean, CMU is like super empowering just because I was like, oh, I'm going to a really great school and I'm learning a lot. And I'd say like the love for robotics came before CMU. I think the reason I went to CMU was because of the love for robotics.
Okay.
Yeah. So just like most people, I'm pretty basic. Like I really liked Iron Man, and I was like, this is sick. And then it's like you kind of see what he's doing. And it's like you're like, okay,
Yeah.
clearly he's like a really good mechanical engineer, but also like he's got good software skills and he's making robots. After that, I started like building like tiny Arduino robot projects at home.
Okay.
In high school and stuff. Joined robotics teams, and then eventually joined CMU. And then I remember like coming in for my tour at CMU, and I saw like Tech Spark, and I'm like, dude, this feels like Big Hero 6. I'm in. And
Oh, that's sick.
like that was pretty cool. And then a lot of so CMU was like I think I only realized later in like around junior year, or kind of when COVID was dying down, that it's really what you put in that you get out. Sometimes you got to go to a college and you're like, okay, like I'm gonna leave this regardless of what I do.
Yeah.
A CMU grad, and I'll have the experience and I'll have what I wanted out of this. But really, like, I think senior year is when I actually started like having some agency and talking to people, and like this was after my first internship with Google, like with the X Everyday Robots, right? And then I was like, kind of like, oh, there's so many people exploring topics that we were exploring at Everyday Robots. Let me just see if I can talk to people about that stuff and get a better understanding for like when I go back or something. When I realized like you can just go talk to professors, you can just like talk to grad students about their work, you can even like work with them on stuff, just hang out with them and start working with them and helping them out. That was huge. Shout out my boy Mernal at CMU. That guy, I think he changed my life. Like that guy,
Really?
like, yeah, I mean, a lot of people at CMU changed my life, but like, I think Mernal, like I met him at a robot learning class, and he kind of took me under his wing because I noticed he was the kid that was answering a lot of questions.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that guy's smart. And I went in kind of not really knowing too much. My ML background was not really there at that point. And then I started working on the capstone project, or the final project, with him. And I just learned so much. And then he connected me with Chris Agason, who was like he was the professor that inspired Baymax from Big Hero 6.
Very cool. Okay.
And and Chris Agason's also a legend. He's so great. And everybody in the lab was really cool. But just from like kind of taking some extra steps to like talk to these people, I think it kind of opened up a lot of doors and a lot of opportunities for learning.
When you were at Carnegie Mellon University, did you always envision that you would start your own company? Did you envision that you would work in big tech? Where was your headspace at this point in time?
Yeah, okay, CMU has an interesting culture. I think I wanted to touch on this. It's like, at least when we were there, like I think it was very much very geared towards like you win if you make it into big tech, or you win if you make it into even like quant.
Yes.
I'd say that was a big part of the culture too.
I agree,
But like, I was really excited about Google X because I was like, oh, I made it into big tech and I got my robotics thing out of this.
There you go, yeah.
And like, I really did enjoy it. I was like, okay, the food's great. You know, I even did that little massage that you get at Google.
Oh, you did that. I'm
was
jealous.
sick.
We don't get that at
dude,
Microsoft.
It was fire. We don't get that here. So. Yeah, sometimes I'm just like, Sid, please rub my back. But anyway, cut that out. No, keep it in.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But anyway, so after that experience, one of the other guys that used to work at X, he worked at a company called Mineral that did like farming robots. His name's Alex. He started a company called Mach 9 out of CMU.
Okay.
And I think he saw that on my resume, or he saw that we both worked at the same spot. And then he asked me if I wanted to like intern for his company. He and this guy named Harvey, they started a company called Mach 9. And they did like digital surveying, meaning like you have like a scanner or like some sort of like ground penetrating radar that you drive around a city, and then you essentially build up like a giant map using SLAM of the city. So you just drive around the city. It's kind of like, think like Google Maps, but like even more intense. So you see like the pipes under the ground and then like the infrastructure situation. Suddenly it's useful for like utilities, like utility companies,
that
the government.
Sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I interned for them during the spring of my senior year, like right before I graduated.
Okay.
And that changed a lot because I was like, oh, this is what a quickly iterating team feels like. Yeah. And I think like week one, I did what I would say is like more output than I did at my internship at Google. To be honest, genuinely, like it was not even that like I was like working, or it's not even that I felt like obligated to work even harder. It's just like the pace of iteration was just way faster, and like I felt like there was just more stuff to do. Like since I was the only person working on this one project that they had me working on, I think like it's like I didn't really have to talk to too many people. I just kind of, Stack Overflowed all my questions. We didn't have ChatGPT then. I know.
That is true.
And, dude, I can't imagine what that would have been like with Chat.
We would have been seeing you on easy mode.
Dude, my internship would have been done
Honestly.
in like day one.
Honestly.
Yeah, but anyway, from that experience, I was like, okay, cool. These guys are like similar to me, and they're able to like do this. I've always wanted to start some sort of business. I feel like a lot of people have that dream. Just because it's like, I feel like our society thinks that it's really cool and it's like a good experience. And honestly, more often than not, I feel like a lot of adults these days are saying, you got to do your own thing. I regret not trying out my own dream. And then you're like, okay, cool. Like, it's not like that crazy to do it anymore. I feel like back in the day, it was like maybe like doing like the Steve Jobs thing or like the Bill Gates thing was probably pretty unique. But nowadays, I feel like everybody's starting companies, and it's like cool. Yeah, like that sounds great, but it's not as like looked down upon or even like concerning these days.
So I think like right now in 2026, it's never been easier to start a company with the AI boom, and anyone can just sort of start and build something. But at the same time, every space feels very crowded because it's so easy to build that there's just so much competition in whatever sort of vertical that you can imagine. And so something I wanted to ask you is, given this sort of double-edged sword, do you think right now in sort of March 2026, is now the best time to start your own company? Is it the worst time? What are your thoughts on sort of the timing in terms of entrepreneurship?
Like genuinely, I feel like 3 years ago, when ChatGPT had first come out, like I think a year after, I was like, dang, saturated. Everyone's done everything they can, there's no other new ideas.
Yeah.
And then like 2 years later, there's so many new companies that popped up.
Yeah.
And then it's like, that makes you think, like in 3 years, there's probably going to be a bunch of new influential companies that come up that we just aren't thinking about right now, you know? And it's like, hopefully one of them's Pivot. I think we're on a really cool trajectory. I'm really like happy with how things are going. And I think the vision that I have is like, that I feel like most people can probably understand, is like in 20 years, I would say, a lot of work is going to be automated in manufacturing. I think that's pretty safe to say, especially like with AGI around the corner. But I mean, like I feel like the rate of progress is kind of going in that direction. Also, like just the fact that like people aren't willing to do these jobs anymore, and the fact that we're trying to kind of reshore these tasks, at least within America, we're trying to bring things back for supply chain stuff. I feel like it's safe to say these jobs will be automated, and there will be automated factories or factories that are running fully autonomously. And it's like, okay, if that's the case, then someone has to bring the world from right now to there. And then it's like, that's going to happen, so why can't it be Pivot? And I think like that's why we're really working really hard all the time, and that's what keeps us going. A lot of other things keep us going. I'd say like another big thing is like connecting with the customer. Like really what we did in the beginning is when we first had people join the team, we would fly out to the customer site and talk to Tom, our guy out there, and look at what's going on. And I think when you leave that experience, one of our guys on the team, Ian, he had mentioned, he was like, yeah, I think he left kind of feeling like, I want to help this guy. I want to serve these people. I feel like this industry deserves a lot of effort. And I think like he's done a great job of like communicating that with the new hires as well, getting people excited. And it's like, I don't know, it really touches you kind of. And now like when we deployed the first cell, you could see a little bit of that coming to fruition.
That's awesome. That honestly sounds super rewarding and fulfilling. So I'm curious about the process of getting into YC. Did you first try to land your first customer before you joined YC? How did you like validate product market fit before taking the leap and quitting your job and joining the startup accelerator?
Yeah, that's a great question. So YC kind of accepted us with less of a business formed. I think they just had some faith in our resumes. I don't know, they do that sometimes, but honestly, getting into YC really helped with quitting the job because they gave you some funding. But I'd say like it did present us with like an interesting situation, which was like, okay, we're not working other jobs right now. Let's evaluate this business. I will say also like we did raise a seed round after YC, and prior to that, our advisor Michael, so he's like Michael Seibel, the GOAT.
Oh yeah,
another GOAT. He gave us the advice, which was stop programming, stop coding, stop building anything, get a contract first, and then once you've realized that this is truly a need, then start building. Like, get your contract first. And then, which was fundamentally different than what I had thought you're supposed to do. I thought you're supposed to build a thing, and then make it work, and then have people be like, I want to buy one of those, purchase. And then it starts working. But it's more like, you learn so much from your customer and iterating with them and first validating that they even need this thing by getting a contract signed. So it passes like the mom test, which is like, you just tell your mom, hey, mom, I want to make this. Do you think it'll be a good business? And she'll be like, of course, sweetie, that sounds like a great idea. And then, but then it's like, the reality is like, if someone's willing to really put down some money because it's truly a problem that they want solved, then you feel very validated that this is worth spending your time in building. I mean, obviously it's really fun, like building stuff for the sake of building stuff, but also like you save a lot of time making sure you're building the right thing first.
What was a typical day in your life like when you were at YC?
Oh, dude, it was pretty busy. I feel like every day I realized I could be doing something more important.
Really?
Yeah, like I think, like, of course, this is an example where like I'm like, okay, like maybe not programming right now is better for the company and focusing on the business is better for the company. But like, I don't know, some days I'd be working on some minutia and then I'd realize like, okay, actually, this doesn't matter if this thing isn't true. And then suddenly I'm like, okay, I'll work on that. And then you find out like there's a layer above that. There's so many random instances of that. The point I'm trying to make is that carries to this day. Like, even now, like, you know, you might be like a really good engineer as like a person starting a company. And what you'll realize is actually what might be more important than trying to lock down this one algorithm or like make this one test work is building out the team so everybody's supported and you can actually iterate faster. And it's like, when you see like what is the bottleneck at your company, I guess, you start to realize that the stuff you're putting a lot of effort into actually might not actually be the most important thing. Like, or at least the most important thing that you as the founder could be doing. When
you were at YC, were you working like 12 hours a day? Did you have any work-life balance? What was that experience like?
What's really interesting about YC is like, a lot of people go through the program still like figuring out what to do. And it's like, when you don't have structure around what you're doing, the amount of hours applied, not converting into something linearly meaningful, like, it's kind of hard. You do spend like 12-hour days or more, you know, always. You're always on, you're always thinking about stuff, you're always emailing people, you're always trying to talk to someone or sell something. One big lesson I think that my friend Cooper told me, which was really great one time, because I remember I was saying like, dude, like, I remember the first 2 months of YC, because there was a period of time where we're trying to figure out if we wanted to do this, what was it like, is this too hard? You know, there's definitely that mental battle. And we spent like 2 months kind of just like iterating on what idea to work on and how to go about it. And I was telling him like, dude, like that period of time felt like a waste of time. We spent 2 months during YC like trying to figure out what to do. And like that didn't feel like a valuable use of our time. And then he was like, nah, man, you were doing something very valuable, which was not dying. And I was like, oh, that's such a good point actually. Like, so long as you're still struggling, you're still like facing the facts of your business and you're actually like putting an effort to make something make sense, that's valuable time. That's time well spent. Because at the end of YC, they say like the main thing that you should be doing from now until your company succeeds, or whatever your definition of success is there, probably like IPO or something, is just focus on not letting your company die. Because so long as your company's not dead, then it's still alive and it's still doing stuff. Don't focus on like the hyper growth or all that stuff initially. Like just focus on not letting your company die. And by trying to figure stuff out and really like taking the time to iterate on the model and iterate on what you want to focus on, that's all effort being put into your company not dying, which was, that felt very good hearing that, to be honest.
That's
like cathartic, yeah.
What was the most overrated part about being at YC?
Overrated?
Yeah.
This is gonna be a hot take.
No, go for it. This is what gets views, so.
Yeah. The funding.
The funding.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that's crazy, but what I would say was, damn, this might be kind of corny, but the main thing is like, I think the mentorship and the guidance, the mentorship is like so valuable. Like they say YC is very valuable for people when it's like their first time starting something. People will do it multiple times, but like the main thing is like, when you do it your first time, you have to learn about like what's actually important. You got to learn about like a lot of basic business stuff. And I think like that was the most valuable part of the program. Like the funding, I think you could probably get it anywhere. Like if you really need money, you can get it somewhere else. But like, I'd say like Y Combinator is really worth it for the learnings and not really, and the program and the mentorship, not really the, and even the connections, yeah. And not really the funding. Like, I mean, 500K is a lot, and I'm taking it for granted right now by saying this, but like, or I seem like I am, but genuinely, like if I had to pick one or the other, I'd say like picking the YC mentorship and then finding funding by some other means would have been just as valuable, yeah.
There's a lot of accelerators I feel that will give you the money, but finding that like deep and valuable expertise probably can't be found anywhere. There's probably a 20-year-old or maybe even a 45-year-old watching this video who dreams of joining YC. Maybe they have a startup idea, maybe they don't have an idea yet. What advice, as someone that has gone through the YC process and been successfully admitted into one of their batches, what advice would you want to give them in terms of their aspirations to join YC in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I should be honest. Like, I got very lucky. I think, like, you know, there's a giant luck factor here. So, and I've gotten rejected before. Like, I got rejected from YC my first time applying, and I'd say like, one, you can iterate on your idea and test it out without funding. If that's like a big blocker for you, you should probably, like, if getting funding is a big blocker for you, then I'd say you should reevaluate your mental model there and think about how you can prove your business in the cheapest way possible. And the beauty of that is when you start doing that, Y Combinator becomes a lot more accessible to you. Yeah, because once you like proved a kind of a motion with your business, then that's when YC is like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to inject some cash into this person or this business. Prior to doing that, suppose you're waiting on YC funding to even think more about your company. It's probably harder to get accepted. Yeah, which is it's kind of funny how that works, because like the less you need an investor, the more they want to be with you.
Yeah, it's almost as if you have to prove that you don't need them in order to attract them.
It's not even like a psychological play. Genuinely, just make an effort and see what you can prove with like minimal funding. I'd say like the best way to increase your odds of getting into an accelerator program is to just do as much as you can without them. Yeah, get as far as you can. I think it'd be really exciting if you reach a point where you don't have funding and you feel confident to like quit your job. That's like a really cool thing. And again, I feel like I might be being a little hypocritical here because I only quit my job after I got into Y Combinator, right? And like, I think it kind of came a little more of like I didn't put a lot of effort into the business prior to getting into the program. But if I were to give myself guarantees and really like, if I were to be put in this situation again, then what I said earlier about like proving the business as much as you can prior to getting the funding is definitely the method. Because also what I will say is when you're in Y Combinator and you already have like a business that kind of makes sense and it's working a little bit, that's when you get the most out of Y Combinator. If you're spending Y Combinator kind of noodling around, like I said we're kind of like trying to figure out what's going on, and you're trying to lock in maybe your first couple of customers and stuff, I think you're not going to get as much out of the program. Y Combinator is great for like taking a flame and turning it into a freaking wildfire. And when you're spending all your time sparking something, then you know, you're not making use of the program as much as you could.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I love that advice. So you did YC in 2024, right?
Yeah, winter 2024.
Winter 2024.
Yeah, so like January through April.
Now it's March 2026.
Yeah.
Since then, have you raised more money? How have the funding rounds been since then?
Yeah. So we raised money right after the Y Combinator batch. So with Demo Day, we raised like a $3.1 million seed round.
Congrats, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man. And that's been really good for funding a little bit of growth in the team. So our team's like 7 people.
Wow.
And yeah, 6, 7. it's keep that in there. It's 6 people right now, but we have a 7th guy joining in like 2 weeks. We have deployed a robot since then. Funding's helped us. I mean, we have this office now. We have a bunch of test robots. It's been really useful to iterate on. We've been very frugal, and we've been very like cautious about spending, or making sure we're spending money in a very responsible way. And I think that's how companies should operate, especially early on. When you're still trying to find product market fit, I think it's really important to stay lean and keep things cheap. But I think we finally hit a bit of a groove where like we recently signed like a really big contract for like deploying potentially 100 robots.
Very cool.
And this is a similar task. It's like associated with the Boeing wing flap outside. But the main thing is like, I think we're finally feeling like that need being truly there, and the product that we're building really making sense to customers. Like demos these days kind of result in them being like, this is the exact product I've always wanted. This is exactly it. That's kind of the reaction. And then we're like, okay, I think something's working. and then so now it's like we're kind of hitting like a bit of like a let's blast off, you know.
Okay.
And, yeah,
that's beautiful.
It's really cool, and that's why we're hiring a lot now and growing the team just to accelerate.
Have you done any more investment rounds since then?
We've been less than our seed. I think we're probably gonna raise pretty soon. But like the main thing is like I think we've proven a lot with the first deployment. We've learned a lot of things. Yeah, I definitely think now is the time to like really blast off.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
What is the craziest thing you've done as a founder in terms of maybe building your product, trying to market your product, trying to find customers? I'm curious, like, what is the most like kind of unhinged or least expected thing that you've had to do as a founder?
I'd say like I don't know, like spending a whole month in Ohio and going to church with my customers is pretty crazy. Like I think like building the bond there is really important to me, and really getting to know this town, like New Boston, Ohio. Like or Portsmouth, Ohio. It's like 2 neighboring little towns, and that's been pretty crazy. Spending like more than like 2 months out there has been pretty insane, just for the effort of like making sure the deployment goes well and that our customer is satisfied. What's really important is like, since manufacturing is like very relationship built or relationships based, meeting in person and shaking a hand, talking face to face, that does make such a big difference, and it makes you seem like more than just like another guy on the internet. So oftentimes when we have like a lead or someone's interested in something, I offer to fly out and check out the foundry and be there, and that's kind of resulted in some really cool experience. Like I visited 16 foundries now.
Oh wow.
And a bunch of manufacturing sites as well in addition. So it's like yeah, that's kind of crazy. And this is all over the past like 2 years since starting the business. And again, the same facts about the industry and the needs are always reinforced every time we go back.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's crazy how much is taken for granted when you like look around in the space that you're living in and the devices that you use and the products that you like drive in. But so much of that is just essentially the supply chain working together as a team. Like everybody's on this giant team called like humanity, you know, and we're all like building things.
Yeah.
Makes sense. As far as like go-to-market stuff, like nothing too crazy there. I post some videos on LinkedIn every now and then.
Yeah.
But I will say, every single one of them have been pretty fruitful. Like the new customer that we got, it was in part, or I mean, probably like the entire thing really happened because of one of the LinkedIn videos I posted.
Really?
So
That's actually a perfect segue. Speaking of videos that get you customers, I want to talk about something I built called Founder of One. It's basically how you grow your startup on autopilot. As you might know, the hardest part of any startup is getting those first 100 customers. You know that content works, but filming, editing, posting consistently, it's a whole job on its own. That's exactly the problem I built this to solve. You paste your website URL, and it generates authentic short form videos. Subtitles, editing, everything already baked in so that it's ready to post on X, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or whatever platform of your choice. I've spent 5 years making YouTube videos, and I've learned what makes videos feel real versus an ad that people just scroll past. That whole pipeline, the hooks, the pacing, the authenticity, I baked all of that into this product. And instead of paying hundreds of dollars to an influencer for a UGC video, you get this at a fraction of the cost because I wanted to create something actually affordable. So if you're a founder that wants to create consistent content without having to film and edit everything yourself, you can get started for free at founderofone.com. I'm super excited to share this project with you and hear whatever feedback you may have.
Now that you're running your own startup, do you ever think like, dang, maybe I should have just stayed at Google where I had work-life balance and actually got 8 hours of sleep a night? Has that thought ever come to you or not really?
I'd be lying if I said like there weren't moments where I'm like, dang, I really did this to myself. but I'd say like ultimately it feels like it's so worth it. There are moments where I'm just like, oh, seeing this come all the way will be so amazing. And then like, I'd say like I've experienced a couple moments now where I'm like, this was so worth it. And I think I've experienced enough to be like, I don't think I'd want it any other way. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Like, I'd say also like we've had like a bit of like a emphasis on culture at the company recently. Like we've had like a new hire, Zen. He's like kind of brought like great energy to the office and we're all like just feeling the good vibes, and like he took us all thrifting one day. That was a great vibe. And then since then we've been doing like some culture events here and there. We're going surfing on Sunday.
Oh, that's sick.
As a team, which will be really fun. And then I think from these experiences I've just been like, I really like these people, you know? Like I feel like the best thing you could be doing in your life is solving problems with people you really respect and enjoy working with.
Yeah.
And we've been blessed with that. And I think what's been cool about not really like touting what we do as a company has been people that join us are people that are really attracted to the problem space, so much so that they went out of their way to find us.
Okay.
I kind of hate talking about us as if we're some sort of really good kept secret because that's not how companies should operate.
Yeah. Fair.
But I think like we've kind of taken this interesting path to get to a point where we have a team of people that really, really are passionate about what we're doing. And every new hire is just adding so much compounding value to not only like, of course, the product and our software and stuff like that, but to the vibe.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, you and your co-founder Sid were named in the Forbes 30 under 30 list, right?
Oh yeah.
What was that experience like? What was like? Yeah, I'm
That's
very
a good
curious.
question.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they're kind of notorious, right? They have like a lot of people like are like, oh, yeah, it's so sus to be on that list. But genuinely, like the way it was, the way our experience was with that was they reach out over email.
Yeah.
Like sometime in August. In 2024, so we got on the 2024 list, but they reached out in August. They're just like, hey, like we're considering you for this, can you share more details with us? And we're like, okay. And we shared more details, and then they said, can we call you? and then we just spoke to them. It was like a 30-minute conversation.
Really?
And then we heard nothing. And then I refreshed the page when it showed up, and I was there. And I'm like, oh.
No way.
We didn't even get it confirmed. It was just, I was like, okay.
That is sick.
I sent a screenshot to my mom, and I was like, yo, check this out.
So it was a 30-minute conversation, and that's it?
It was really fast.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's different for every field. Like, I feel like manufacturing, especially for young people, is not like a very sought-after field.
Sure.
So it's probably like, I don't know, less selective or like intense to get on to the list, I guess. As like I don't know, the AI stuff happening, there's like an AI list, and I'm sure that was like super competitive, and they probably did deeper interviews, but like we didn't really optimize for it.
It just happened.
But it just kind of happened, yeah.
And you didn't have to meet with anyone in person. There wasn't any like in-person thing. Okay.
None of that. Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay.
Some people get like their photos taken, and I noticed like there's like some professional shots.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little more involved for those guys. But,
yeah. I want to give you a couple seconds if you want to plug anything. Where can people find out more about you, more about your company? Is there any sort of website that you want to share?
Sure, yeah. Camera 1, camera 2. Yeah, so I'm Vignesh, founder of Pivot Robotics. We're online, pivotrobotics.com. We got a LinkedIn, got a Twitter that I need to post more on. And honestly, shout out Sid.
Second most important Sid in his life right now.
Yeah, dude. Sid was the boy in college. Super chill, super great. I hope this podcast takes off and you become very successful at this. Yeah, my plug is this guy.
Your plug is me. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it.
Dude, yeah, of course.
Awesome.
Film the hug.
Oh, man. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Brown Tech Daddy.
Brown Tech Daddy, episode 2 of the podcast.
Shit, what's the name of the podcast?
I couldn't come up with the name, so right now it's just Brown Tech Daddy's podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. BTD, but yeah. First of all, thank you so much for taking the time to join the podcast. Yeah, no, I mean, okay, this part. No.
We filmed all that.
I'll probably cut most of this out. I'll cut that out.
Do your thing.